to Breakthrough Live. I'm so happy to see so many folks here already. I'm going to give a few minutes for everybody to kind of file in. But before we even get started, I want to introduce the illustrious Kelly Bojarski, who will be here helping me today and answering questions and moderating. Go ahead and say hi in the chat to your to your other agents across the country. They're not local, sorry. But if you have a question that you need answered, please use the Q&A because all of the questions that are in the chat kind of get lost. We try and keep an eye on it, but help Kelly out and make sure if you have a question you want answered to put it in the Q&A. And then if there's something that she thinks I should, bring up to the whole group, she'll let me know and we'll go from there. So welcome everybody. I am going to, let me share my screen real fast with everyone. Make sure I do it right this time. All right, there we go. I think I did it right this time. Today is Breakthrough Live, and it is the third installment of Fix Your Drip, which is all about smart campaigns in August. That's what we're doing all of August. And this is part 3, which is Never Miss a Milestone. And we are talking about date-based campaigns today and creating those so that you aren't missing the birthdays and the anniversaries and the holidays and all that good stuff. So definitely wanted to make sure that everybody knew how to make those. And before we go any farther, I'm going to give you guys this link right here. This is our kind of doc for today. I'm going to copy this, stick it in the chat for everybody. And on here, we've got a lot of goodies. We've got the slides, we've got the replay links from the last 2 sessions. So the first in August 5th, we talked about making the defaults in BoldTrail customized to you to increase your response rates and open rates and all that good stuff. Last week, we talked about the advanced editor and designing pretty templates to use. And we'll use some of those pretty templates today when we talk about making these date-based campaigns. If you ever need a one-on-one session with me, so if you've got your own stuck point that you need a breakthrough on, you can sign up for breakthrough sessions there. We do half-hour and hour sessions. So if you want, that is the link for that. In August, here's your coupon code if you want any of these great things. And I think it should also work for the holiday campaign. So if you see this and you're like, I don't want to do that, I want someone to do it for me. We do have holiday campaigns in the marketplace and you could get your 10% off of that too. And just wanted to say next month, sorry guys. I just got back from a trip and I'm a little, next month we're doing our Breakthrough Live all on lead gen and I don't want anybody to miss it. So if you want to sign up early, go ahead and use that link. And there's some extra help down here, our webinar calendar, all that good stuff. So I just want to make sure everybody has that link. And oh, I bet I put it, hang on. I sent it to Kelly. She doesn't need it. Here we go. I'll send it to everybody. There you go. It's now in the chat. All right. I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to go to this next one. If you're watching this later on YouTube and you want to sign up for the rest of the sessions here, or if you want to sign up for September or anytime in the future, this QR code will change automatically for the links. So please register for Breakthrough Live using this QR code. All right. So today we're going to talk about date-based campaigns, but I thought before we did all of that, we wanted to kind of talk about why they're important, right? So where do real estate transactions come from? And this is some data from NAR. And basically, if you want to get your transactions going, you can pay for leads, you can do open houses, then definitely you'll get some leads and you'll get some business that way. But the vast majority of your business is coming from past clients and your sphere of influence. And the problem with that is that, you might be sending them listings here and there, and you might be sending them things about the market kind of to keep up on that. But the nicest way to keep in touch with them is to remember their birthday, is to remember their house anniversary, right? Those are really important things to keep in touch with them on. And so being able to do that with your BoldTrail platform is super important. And if you stay in touch with them, you have a much higher chance of getting that repeat business or getting that referral. Because as we know, there is a big gap. It's called the post-close retention leak. So when you close with somebody And, they send them off in their merry way and they're super happy with their new house. In about 7 to 10 years, they're going to transact again, probably. And as we know, about 85% of the people that have a transaction would totally use their realtor again and again and again. They had a great experience. You guys are great realtors, so they should have a great experience. And so they would like to do that. But only 18 to 20% of people actually use the same real estate agent again because you've got this gap of time and the real estate agent didn't stay in touch, didn't stay in front of them. And so what happened was when it was time to, sell that house and buy the next one, they might have, gone with whoever the last person they were in touch with was. And if it wasn't you, that's a problem, right? So automating these date-based things in BoldTrail is very important. Okay. Also, the other cool thing about sending out things like holidays and birthdays and anniversaries is the personal milestone emails get opened at a much higher rate than your regular drip emails or anything else. So your industry average for email open rates is about 12 to 20%. Some of you might have much higher, some of you might have lower. And if you have lower, you should watch my breakthrough session on email deliverability. But the personal milestone ones can be somewhere north of 75%. So obviously, if someone's wishing me a happy birthday personally, like I want to open that email and hear, another birthday wish. So it's really important, and you can really boost your open rate and your email engagement by doing personal things, personal milestones for these folks. Okay, so today we're going to talk about date-based campaigns, and date-based campaigns are a little different than your regular campaigns. So your regular campaigns, you usually have a trigger, not always, but you have a trigger that says, okay, if the lead is new and they have this hashtag, we're going to run this campaign. Or if they have this hashtag, we're going to run this campaign, or whatever it is. But a date-based campaign is when a specific date occurs. So this could be an actual date, like you could do it for holidays. So it could be, December 25th, and it is for Christmas. Or it can be the specific date of the anniversary or the birthday that you have in each person's contact record. Okay, it can be either of those. However, you can also do an optional qualifier. So maybe you're doing a a birthday campaign for people. Maybe you have 500 people in your contact list that have birthdays, but you have a very specific list of people you want to do handwritten cards for, and you want to set up a campaign that reminds you to send them a handwritten card, but you don't want to do it for all 500. You might hashtag them birthday card in your contact list, and you could give that optional qualifier of handwritten card or whatever birthday card so that only those people get this particular campaign. Because the way date-based campaigns work, if you don't put a qualifier on them, the only qualifier is the date. Okay, so if you run a campaign for holidays and you have no qualifier whatsoever, every single person in your database that has a good email, if it's an email campaign, or has a good phone number, that if there's text message in there, will get that campaign. Every single person. The only qualifier is that that date has happened. Okay. And so you want to make sure you have a qualifier in there if you don't want it to go to everyone. Super important to know that. The other thing to note is that you will only get one per person. So if you have two things you want to do, like you want to send them a card and you want to send them a text, you need to do it in one campaign, because if you do it in two different campaigns, only one of them is going to run. So we want to make sure that you understand that too. Okay? So before we hop in, Kelly, do we have any questions I need to address?
We do. We've got one that is not techie at all. That's really more of like an advice question.
Okay.
And Marilee asks, hey, other than asking them directly, do you have any ideas on how to go about getting their birthdays? Some people, their lenders provide them, some people don't. I personally am really great at stalking people and finding this information out because it's usually pretty available on social media. If they've added it to their Facebook page, you can look it up on their Facebook page. If they've added it, usually it's there. But just any ideas from you, Heather?
Yeah, I mean, definitely asking them is a great way to do it. The other thing you can do is we went over this, we haven't gone over this yet, but let me pull this over here. This is a custom page, like a landing page that you can make. And you can do a form where you actually ask for their birthday. You can put it in there.
This would
And
be a good
so,
touch point, right? To send out this form.
yeah, so you could say, hey, you could run a list of everybody that doesn't have a birthday, that you don't have a birthday for them. And you could send them a mass email that says, hey, I really want to stay in touch and I really want to celebrate you. I would love to have your birthday on file so that I make sure to celebrate you. And so basically, obviously, you're going to change the background picture. I'm not going to get into all that today, but there is a spot for their birthday, and you definitely want to have their uh, phone, or it's not phone number, their email address in here. Because when they put the email in, and if they put the birthday in, their email is already in your platform. All it's going to do is not going to create a new lead for you. It's just going to update their birthday automatically. So it's kind of nice because you can ask people and then you can go in and add it. And with streams, it's really easy now too. You can just say, hey, Joe gave me his birthday and here it is. Please add it. But this way, it just totally goes in right away. It's just going to update their contact record for you. So it's a good way to do that. Come to our next September's lead generation sessions. We're going to talk about building landing pages then. So if you have questions about how to do this, but that would be a way to do it.
Heather, they can have their own join our birthday club,
Right.
right? Just like
Exactly.
Baskin Robbins used to have. Remember that? Join our birthday club, get your free scoop on your birthday. I think it's a great idea. Make sure you change out that background picture from that guy in the robe,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. No robes.
No
Um,
robes. And then I did have another question, and let's see. Hang on, hang on. Oh, yes. D'Amico asked, this may have already been asked, but can the text alerts that you talked about be blind copied to themselves so that they can be reminded that the email went out as well? This has to do with your earlier conversation. So I'm thinking there when you were talking about automations. Is that what we're talking
mhm.
about?
Um, I'm not sure. I
I
think
think basically they want to be notified when this communication has gone out, wishing them a happy birthday.
Um, you can't copy yourself on that text message. However, you could make the part of the campaign, the text message goes out, and then you can also do a second task on the same day that just says, hey, text message was sent, maybe follow up or whatever. And
That's
that way,
exactly what I told him. Yeah, awesome.
and then that way you'll know that it went out, um, and you'll be able to follow up that way for
I
sure.
call that the one-two punch. Whenever you're doing something or creating an action that's going to affect or communicate to one of your clients, it's always a good idea to have some sort of follow-up plan. And this is a perfect example of like, hey, sending out a birthday announcement, send me a reminder that that birthday announcement went out, things like that. And then let's see if there was any other ones. There, Diamond asked, and I might need a little bit more information about that. Um, could you repeat the last part about the card and text message? And this was during the conversation about when you're explaining how the campaigns work.
I was just saying that you can only have one, each contact can only have one date-based campaign running for their birthday and only one date-based campaign running for their home anniversary. So if you wanted to do a couple of things for their birthday, you wanted to send them a card and you wanted to send them a text, you want to do it in the same campaign. You don't want to do two one-step campaigns because if you do that, only one of them will run, not both of them.
We're good.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to hop in and do some campaigns, but before we do it, I want to talk about all the different things you can do for this. Okay, it's not just sending an email, although, or sending a text, although those are things that you can do. So you can send them automated text messages as long as they have a good cell phone in their contact record. You can send them a text message for sure. And text messages are really great to send birthday things because, everybody sees a text message before they're going to, they don't have to open an email or whatever. They're going to see their text messages. So that's definitely one you want to think about putting in there. Making a pretty greeting in the advanced editor is great because these are people that it's okay to send advanced editor emails to these people. We made them last week. So if you missed that session, please go back and watch it on how to use the advanced editor, but using those email greetings. But some other things you might not have thought about that you can add to these. One is an automated call reminder. So, maybe you want to give them a live call. And I'm sorry, but like, what better reason to call someone than their birthday or their home anniversary, right? It's a legit reason to make that phone call. Forces you to stay in touch with them. They're hearing your voice. You're live talking to them. So, doing automated call reminders is a great thing to put into these campaigns. You're not going to have like 20 in a day either, because really, how many people are having the birthday on the same day? Maybe one, two, three. I don't know how many people you have in there. Also manual touch tasks. So I've seen a lot of people say, we do handwritten cards, and I would like to be reminded of doing a handwritten card for these people. And again, maybe you don't do handwritten cards for everybody. You could have a campaign just for those people that have handwritten card as their hashtag, and then set it up in a way, and I'll show you how to do this so that, it's 10 days before their birthday, you get the reminder so you can get that card written, get that card in the mail so that they receive it in time for their birthday. Okay. And last but not least, there's a couple next level things you can do. You can send them a video. You can have like a voicemail drop where they get a voicemail from you, like saying happy birthday. Their phone didn't ring, but they just see that they have a voicemail from you. Um, or you can mail gift cards to them even automatically. And I'm gonna show you where those are today. I'm not gonna show you how to do those today because we are doing all of those things next week on our next level campaign automation. So we're gonna go deep into how to do all that stuff next week. But these are things you can add. Kelly.
And this might be a question for next week, but Marco is asking, is there a way to use an AI agent to make these calls?
Um, I don't know that I would want to use an AI agent to make birthday calls. I'm just gonna say that, like, you don't wouldn't want an AI person talking to me on my birthday. Like, if you can't even call me, then that's kind of a problem. But you can do a voicemail drop, which is your voice saying, "Hey, happy birthday, blah blah blah," and they get it. They just looks like they missed a call from you, and that you can do. It is an extra feature in BoldTrail. Let me pull this over real fast. And it is in the marketplace. And if you just search for voicemail, this is your voicemail drop. So you get, it depends on the plan you choose, you get a certain number of voicemail drops a month. And so you can put these in your birthday and anniversary campaigns. You can also put them in your new lead campaigns, like, hey, so that immediately they got a voicemail from you, so that when you follow up again with your actual phone call, maybe when you are free later, they've already, gotten a call from you and they know what's going on and they know who you are.
And just to add to that, I think that for birthdays and home purchase anniversaries, all of those things that are very personalized touches, I can't think of a better way to utilize video than to send a premium video. That's going to be my shameless plug for that, because I think that that's a great way to hit that audience. And then you can also build it out once and repurpose it and use it over and over again. So
100%. Yeah. And those videos you can do it for free by putting in a YouTube video link, or you can get premium video, which I have and love. And if you guys, I bet, how many of you have gotten an email from me reminding, give me a thumbs up, um, reminding you of the upcoming breakthrough sessions. I send you guys a video every week to remind you. So definitely, that's a good way to go. And I know that those are getting watched and played because I can see that. All those things you can see how many people are watching them and playing them and whatnot. So uh, premium video is a great thing. And we're going to talk about that next week. Premium video, voicemail drop, and Zapier for doing things like automating like sending out a Starbucks card on their birthday, and you don't even have to mess with it. So we're going to go through all of that next week. Okay. Yay. All right, so let's dive in. Let's do some date-based campaigns. Before we do that, Kelly, any other questions?
nope, I think we're good to go.
Okay, let's pull over here. All right, so what you want to do when you're doing your date-based campaigns is you want to head on over into your marketing tab and go to campaigns, or again, you can just use your Omni search and search for campaigns. And so again, if you are, I am just an agent in this particular account, but if you are an admin or company admin or a team admin, you can set these up for your team, but it's kind of a personal thing. So if you're doing a video of yourself, you don't want to set it up for your team because your team members don't want your face going out to their leads. So be cognizant of the scope when you're creating these campaigns, okay? So we're going to click Add Campaign. And from here, this is usually, like I said, maybe it's a new lead or it's a hashtag or whatever. But really, what we're going for now is when a specific date occurs. So there's two types of campaigns that you can do. Well, actually three, but I kind of lump these together. Birthday and purchase anniversary are specific to the contact. So it's triggered by the contact's birthday, the contact's home anniversary. A specific date is more global. It is just the date. So if you're doing a holiday campaign, you're going to go with specific date. If you're doing birthday or purchase anniversary, you're going to go with one of these. And I'm going to go over both of them, but we're going to do birthday first. Kelly.
And before you jump, and I hate to th throw your roll here, but before you dive real deep in here, could you maybe just show them real quickly where that birthday and purchase anniversary date lives on a contact record?
Ooh, yes.
Because that's where they're pulling, that's how we were able to set this up, is because there's actually a separate field that we specifically capture a birth date for that contact or their purchase anniversary. And this is where it is.
Right. So if you go into their contact record and their profile, there's all this good stuff. And I believe the birthday is right here. And I also believe the purchase anniversary, this is the birthday of the spouse. This does not trigger a email. You'd have to have the spouse have their own contact record with their own birthday. This is just for your information only. Okay. And then their last close date under their address would be their home anniversary. Now, before the other thing we really, should I go the other way? I'm thinking I'm going to go the other way. There is automation in the platform for sending an anniversary email and text, and there is automation in the platform for sending a birthday email and text. And you can do that under the automations, and I'll show you real quick where that is. But if you do have that turned on and you set up a date-based campaign, the date-based campaign will override that automation. So if you, for instance, had the automation turned on globally for everyone, and then you made a date-based campaign for handwritten cards, handwritten cards would override that. So you'd want, let's say you want a handwritten card, but you also want the automated email that would have gone out. You're going to have to put that automated email in the handwritten cards campaign because it's going to override any automation that we have going for the birthdays and anniversaries.
And the way I like to think about it conceptually is like the send birthday email and text is literally a one-step action. We're just going to do it for you. But we know that there's a lot of agents that will really create custom personalization and use this as a personal touch point where there are multiple actions or steps that need to be taken, such as sending a handwritten card, maybe stopping by their house and dropping off flowers, maybe having something sent to them. Like all of those are individual steps and actions. That's not what this is that she's showing right here. What she's showing right here is just, we're going to send them an email and we're going to send them a text. So anything above and beyond that is something that you're doing personally and you're customizing it. So you don't need to send, and you don't want to send it twice. So that's why your smart campaign, your date-based smart campaign will override whatever the automation is that's sent there. So you're not sending it out twice.
Exactly. And while we're here, before I go back into the
Thanks for
campaign,
the sidetrack, by the way. That was really helpful.
yeah. In the marketing tab, under your birthdays and anniversaries right here, this is that automation that we talked about. So on their birthday, if they have a good phone number, we're going to send them a text. If they don't, we're going to send them an email. And you can personalize this a bit. Like you can change this template right here to be, this is our generic template. I have a birthday template that I want to use. Let's see, HB, I think it's birthday. Hmm, birthday. Yeah, so 2025 birthday. So I'm going to do this, and I've got this pretty thing here with a video in it. And if I want to send that out to everybody, and that's all I want to do, you could just put that in right here and be done with it. You don't need a date-based campaign. But if I want to send a handwritten card, or if I want, other things happening that is not this email, then you're going to have to do a date-based campaign. So I can add that template in, and now they're going to get my personalized birthday, and I already have a personalized text message in here. I highly recommend that you go in here at the very minimum and update this stuff if you're using this automation and I would update it every year. Set yourself a reminder to update it every year because you don't want to send the same exact greeting out every single um every single year, right? So maybe switch it out. Okay? Okay. So back to the campaigns. So we're going to create a campaign. And again, we're going to do it when a specific date occurs. And we're going to do the birthday. Now, when is this campaign going to start? Well, it could start if you're just sending them an email on their birthday, it can start on the date of their birthday. But if you want to send that handwritten card out and you want it time to mail it and get it done, so you need that reminder, a few like 7 to 10 days in advance, you're going to do the before date. So you're going to say before, and I'm going to do 10 days before. Just give myself some time. Now, if I leave it at this point, everybody's getting this campaign that has a birthday in my um, in my CRM. But let's say that I just want to send this handwritten card to my A list. So, it could be my A list hashtag or something. So, oh, sorry. Hashtag is, and you select it over here, A list. Maybe I have an A-list hashtag and only my A-list people get this handwritten card. Like if you're a Buffini person, you're ABC and all that stuff, like maybe you just want the A's to get it or whatever. Um, can I set a time when this goes out? No, you cannot set a time that this goes out. It will just go out. It will go out during business hours, though. If it's a text message, it will not go out in the middle of the night or really early in the morning, I promise. Okay. So from there, I can say, okay, I have this optional qualifier. So only the people that have a list and have a birthday in my platform are going to get this campaign. Okay. I'm going to say next. And who is this designed for? When I'm doing birthday, if I've got the birthday and they've got the hashtag, I just easily do all because maybe you have an agent in there that's on your A list. Who knows? You could just do all because this isn't like a buyer or a seller type situation. It's more of it's your birthday. So, and then you got to give it a name and you could say, this is my happy birthday for my A list. And just you can describe it so you know what's in there. Send hand written card, video, email, and a text. Okay. And next. And you make sure it's correct and you're going to click finish. Now, if you remember from week 1, I had said that campaigns are like the buildings, but the templates are like the bricks in the building. So we got to put the templates in there. Okay. So I'm going to go find it again. So birthday. And I think there it is, that birthday for my A list. And you can see there's 0 touches in there right now because I haven't put anything in it yet. So I'm going to click into it and add an action. So my first action is I want to remember to write that handwritten card. So it's going to be a task. If you wanted to automate that handwritten card, I saw a question about that. We're going to talk about how to do that. next week. So we're going to talk about Zapier and using something like Thanks.io where you can automate handwritten cards or sending out like a Starbucks card or whatever. We're going to go over how to make those and how to trigger them in here, in which case this would be a Zapier task, or not task, but a Zapier action. But promise we'll get to that next week. Right now, I'm just going to say this is a task. So my task, I got to make the template because I don't already have a template for this. I'm going to say HB because we talked about this a lot. If you want to remember what your tasks are, what your templates are, put your initials on them so you know. Um, birthday card reminder. And then you could say it's, do you see this merge tag right here? It's a little squiggly bracket. It is above the regular bracket. And when you do that, it will pull in the merge tag. So I might say leads full name. It's leads full name, birthday in 10 days. Write their card and send it to, we'll do that squiggly again. And we're going to find their address. We're going to do, I think there's a full address on here. Yeah, lead address. And that way, when you see that task come up in your task list, you don't have to click into them, go find out what their address is. It's all right there in the task for you. Okay? So it's lead first names, birthday, so it'll pull in their birthday and it will pull in their lead address. Okay? So send card is your action step. And so we're going to do it on the start date because if you recall, the start date was 10 days before we did it. So we're going to do that. Just leave it alone. And then so then we're going to say save. And then we're going to remember. And then maybe on their actual birthday, maybe we want to call them. Now, if we want to call them, so HB call, birthday call. There's two ways to do this, and I'll show you what they are, but let's make the template first. It's squiggly line, squiggly bracket, lead first name. Birthday today, call them at squiggly line. Let's see, lead primary call. So you'll have their phone number right there. Okay. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can do this as a task reminder. So it'll just come up in your tasks, or it will initiate a call to you. It'll call your phone and then it'll call them. So it depends how you want to handle it. If you're like, I can't miss this, I want it to call me, great. If you want it to be a task reminder, which is probably the better way to go, so it doesn't call you when you're in the middle of something, you would use that. So that you want to do it actually on their birthday. Well, after start date is when you want to do it. You don't want to do it on the start date. You want to do it 10 days after because we started it 10 days before, right? So 10 days after, so it actually happens on their birthday, we're going to call them and save it. Oh, we got to give it a name. Birthday phone call. Save. Maybe you want to do a pop by. Maybe you have a present you want to give them. Well, maybe that would be a task that happens after the start date, but maybe it's 3 days. Give yourself like a 3 or 4 day cushion. So you might say 6 days after the start date, right? Or maybe you want to send that video email because if all else fails, to at least get that email from you. And I already have that template. It's my birthday one. Oh, hang on, I gotta turn this off. Give me a second. We're gonna do that birthday video that I had. That at least they get that, and they get that 10 days after. And I'm gonna name it birthday video email. And it's going to come from me, the agent, to the contact. I can save those changes. So those are all different things that you can do. You could do an email, you can send them a text message, all those things. Kelly, we have questions.
Just a couple of questions. One, just a small favor. Can you make your screen a little bit bigger? People are having a hard time reading some of the text that's on there. Text is a little tiny. And oh, thank you so much. And two, Jen asks, can you send a GIF via a text if you were sending a text out?
Um, no, but you can send a video.
Video's better. Video's better.
It's better.
And Jen also wants to know a little bit more. Do you have to have BombBomb to embed the video?
You can do if you did let me go here.
I mean, technically, you can hyperlink things anywhere you really need to, but it's not going to have the same appearance.
So BombBomb, BombBomb is our premium video is BombBomb. See this moving, kind of GIF situation. The only way to achieve that is to do premium video. However, you can go and you can, instead of having that, delete that out, you could have go to content and bring over a regular video, in which case you need to have a URL for that. So a Vimeo or a YouTube URL. But what it will have is it will have a thumbnail with a play button, but it will not have that moving situation, if that makes sense. Okay. Anything else, Kelly?
Somebody loved the the video that you had, and they were like, "Hey, do you actually send GIFs, or is that just a box you're holding?" I'm like, "Well, that's a prop, and I've seen that video, but you absolutely can send things. That would be you would use a different tool to as an action.
You
uh,
can,
you would use Zapier or a webhook. Most people use Zapier. And this is specifically what Heather's going to be covering next week on the advanced tools. So we're not going to get really caught up in the weeds on how to do those because it's all about sending the date-based campaigns today. But make sure you come back next week because that's where the deep dive on Zapier is.
yeah, we're going to show you how to do it. You can send gifts, brownies, flowers, handwritten cards. There's all sorts of different third-party vendors that, can be triggered by Zapier in the step on the date to send it out. And like I said, we're going to go over all of that next week. So it's a
Yeah.
great thing to do and a great way to automate that.
And to be clear, Zapier is not part of BoldTrail. Zapier, however you call it. It's a third-party tool that's used like a bridge to kind of have two pieces of software talk to each other and do things in each software. That little bridge, you use Zapier to do that and create those rules. That is not governed, owned, or incentivized by anybody here on this call, meaning Heather and I. We are not paid influencers for it, but it is a tool that a lot of folks use to make these things happen in their campaigns. So any additional costs that would be incurred by using Zapier. I know that there's kind of a free version of it. Heather will go into that next week. But premium video is something that you would purchase through our marketplace. And that is something that is our incorporation with BombBomb. So Heather, I know you can speak a little bit more to that. You've got a lot of experience with the premium video.
Yes, I adore premium video. I get the best responses from it. And I think I don't know, in the next couple months, we'll do a month on video because I think it's important. It should be a huge part of your business is sending out videos to people. And one other thing you can get in the marketplace, and I already mentioned that was that voicemail drop. That is not here, but because I don't subscribe to it. But if I went into the marketplace and I got voicemail drop, voicemail would be an option here for me to add a voicemail drop to my campaign. You can actually put it in your campaign if you have voicemail drop um, as an add-on in the marketplace. Okay.
Jen's follow-up question about when you're sending it out using the Vimeo or YouTube video, will it just show the video like a still thumbnail, or is there anything else that it shows if you were to just use that in an advanced email template?
It shows a still thumbnail. Yep. Whatever, it's either what YouTube chooses, but when you put the video up, there is a spot to in YouTube to say this is what I want my um, thumbnail to be. If you put something in there, that's what it's going to be. If you didn't, it's just going to choose a random screenshot from your video. Yeah.
And didn't we cover these in, was it last week's session on how to build out those advanced emails using that? Wasn't that last week's session?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so Diamond, I'm going to refer you back to last week's session to learn about text messages and templates and videos.
Yeah. That would be the replay link for August 12th, which is on that sheet I gave you guys.
Yep.
Okay. So that's how you do a birthday campaign. The same thing would apply for the home anniversary. You would have just chosen home anniversary instead of birthday when you first set it up. And so if you're sending something handwritten, you do it beforehand. If it's all happening the day of, you could do it, you could start it the day of. But that would be the way to make these. And so then if you think about it, anybody that has a birthday and has that hashtag is going to get this campaign. Everyone else might get the automation if you have it turned on. You will not get the automation if you are getting this campaign. So just a reminder. One last thing you want to do before you walk away from here is turn your campaign on. Because if you don't do that, you've just made a pretty campaign that is not going to get used because it's not turned on. So you always have to say, okay, I'm ready to turn it on. Because if you're kind of editing it and you're not quite ready yet, we don't want to be sending things out until you're ready. So you can get in here, edit, play, and when you're all good to go ahead and make that campaign active, and it will turn it on for everyone who has that hashtag and has a birthday. Okay. Any last questions we had, Kelly, for the birthday stuff before we head on over to the holiday stuff?
Well, Tina did ask a question about the holidays, so this is a teaser for that. And Keith had one question about we had talked about setting up anniversary or date-based campaigns for like purchase anniversary. So first, Keith wants to know how would you or what would you recommend if you're dealing with a client who has more than one property from you? Because as far as I know, there's only one last close date per contact record. So I'm thinking, Keith, the only way to utilize this would be to choose the primary property as their as that source. Unless Heather, you have another suggestion.
I mean, that's kind of like your call. For instance, if someone has owned their home for 15 years and they didn't even buy it with you, but they bought their summer home that they love and go to all the time, and they bought that with you, then maybe you want to use that date instead, not their primary residence, right? So, that's just kind of a judgment call.
Right. And then to tee up your holiday conversation, Tina wants to know, do we actually provide scripts for holiday campaigns? And I think she means a template for a holiday campaign, but I don't want to speak for Tina. So clarify that, Tina, if I missed that.
So we do not, we have some holiday templates that are in there already, but not a template for the campaign itself. However, if you go into the marketplace and you go to campaigns, but you got to spell them right, campaigns. Under premium campaigns, if you don't want to mess with what I'm about to show you, you can buy a holiday campaign from us. I think it's like $200 a year. And we switch everything out. We switch the dates out. We switch the greetings out. There's calls to action in there, like whatever. They'll ask you what you want on there and they'll design it with you. So that's a really great way to just have that done. And I'm pretty sure the August coupon code should work for that to get 10% off your first go round. So that's something you can do.
And one last question from Marielle about the start date field. Is the birthday date or the date the campaign runs? Meaning, I'm thinking what she's asking is the birth date that's in the field that we capture it from, is that the date that the campaign starts?
It is the date that the campaign starts if you choose to start it on that date. But if you choose to start it 10 days before that date, it will start 10 days before that date, right? So if you're in, let's go back to, so if we add a campaign and it's a specific date, if the date is the birthday, you can start it on the birthday, which, so if their birthday is, my birthday is October 25th, if anybody wants to send me a present. If it would start, that would be the day of my birthday. So it'd be day zero, really. Or you can do before or you can do after. And if you do before, you have to say how many days before, if that makes sense. Okay. Let's pop into doing a campaign that has nothing to do with birthdays or anniversaries, but just has to do with a specific date. So you might say, I want to do something when a specific date occurs. Now, the most obvious thing to do here is a holiday campaign, but there are other things you can do this for. Let's say that you have a client appreciation event that's happening, right? And you want to send automated reminders a week before, the day before. You want to send a follow-up after saying thank you for coming, right? Your specific date could be, you know, that the date of the campaign, or excuse me, the date of the client appreciation event, and then you would start it. Actually, you can't. You have to think about, that's not true. The date would be the date you want to start it. So the date would be, let's say the client appreciation event is a Halloween party on the 31st. You could make it start on the 1st of October. So as long as the 1st of October has happened, every single person, if you don't do an optional qualifier, will get this campaign. And so then you're just going to choose specific dates. It's not a before or after situation anymore. It's not 10 days before, 5 days before. It is specific dates. So I'll show you, it'll make, I think, a little more sense when you're doing holidays. So let's say, what's our next holiday coming up is Labor Day, which is, it's really late this year. It is the 8th this year. Is that true?
It's the 7th. That's the Monday. Let's use Halloween. That's
Oh,
always a
you're
fun one.
right.
Or do you already have one
Well,
for
it's
Labor
fine.
Day?
We do that. So the 7th is a Monday. So that's Labor Day. So maybe I want to make sure I'll just start it on the 5th. Nothing's going to happen on the 5th if I don't tell it to happen on the 5th. Okay. So let's just say I'm going to start my next campaign on Labor Day. Who do I want to get this? Well, if I don't put an optional qualifier in here, every single person in my database is going to get this. We talked about new folks getting really pretty HTML things and might not be the best idea. So you might want to decide that you want the status to be, just your active leads. Actually, I don't think you can do more than one, can you? No. Huh. Yeah. You could do a hashtag. Maybe what I would do is a hashtag for everyone that is, not new, and then use that hashtag. Or you could do everybody. I mean, one
So
holiday.
what is our campaign? What is the goal of our campaign? Is it to invite them to something for Labor Day? Is it to
It's just
uh,
a greeting, like a labor, like a greeting. You want to send out a greeting, like Happy Labor Day, Happy Halloween, Happy whatever. But what you're gonna do is, and you'll see it on the templates. When we made the template last week for Labor Day, we had extra stuff in there, like find my home value, and here's all the stuff that's happening for the fall in my area. We had those links in there so that they're gonna get value from it. So don't just send them Happy Labor Day, send them Happy Labor Day and give them some extra value where they might come back to your website to check their home value, or they might come back to your website to look at a blog and then maybe start searching around for homes or whatever it is. So you always want to have those calls to action. And if you missed those, last week was the place to do that. We talked all about that last week. Okay, so I'm not gonna do an optional qualifier. I'm just gonna leave it as is. So I want everybody to get this. I want all my people to get this. Or maybe you're like, I want all the people except I don't want agents to get it because, they get too much stuff from me. Maybe I don't want agents to get it. You make the decision of who you want to get this. And then this is going to be my holiday. So I'm going to do the HB so I remember HB. holiday 2026 campaign, because you're going to need a new campaign next year because, you know, Labor Day is not the same day and campaign is not the same day. Easter's not the same day. Okay. And also, you don't want to send the same greeting out 2 years in a row. Send holiday greetings. Okay. Next. How am I doing on time? 10 minutes. I think we can do this. So we're going to finish it. Let's find that holiday. Here it is, that 2026 holiday campaign. As you can see, it's 0. I don't have any touches in there yet. So nobody's getting nothing. We're going to add an action. So our action is going to be an email. Could be a text message. It could be whatever. Last week we made a Labor Day template. I'm going to put my Labor Day template in here. This isn't the one we made together because I'm in a different account. But we did say, hey, we definitely want to have text at the top. If you remember, before we put the picture in, a little more text. Here's some things: search home for sale, call me, chat with me, all that good stuff. You can put those buttons in so that you're giving them extra value when they get that greeting from you. Okay? From here, we can put Labor Day. Email is the name of the action. It's going to come from you to the contact. And now it's not a before or after situation here. It's a specific date. When is Labor Day? Labor Day is the 7th. So this is going to go out on the 7th. So as long as the 5th has passed, right? Nothing happens on the 5th because we're not putting anything in here. This will go out on the 7th. Save it. And then what's my next holiday? Halloween. So I might want to do Halloween. I know it says 2025, but I didn't do a new one yet for 2026. So same thing. We've got some calls to action here. Halloween email from me to the contact on a specific date. When's that date? That date is 31st of October. So that's going to go out on that day. Big changes. And again, you do the same thing: Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, whatever. And then you're done. So that's pretty easy to make them. I think that the harder part is making your templates, which we went over last week. So if you want to watch last week's video on how to make templates for each of your holidays, and then once those templates are made, you're just going to plug them in and put those dates in so that they go on those specific dates. Okay, and that's pretty easy. Kelly, questions? Do we have any questions?
I think we tackled most of them.
Okay.
I'm just double checking through chat. And maybe I don't remember, do we already answered this one? But if you want to just show everybody real quickly, again, where the birthdays and anniversaries live in marketing. Just so, because somebody had asked earlier, how do I change out those templates if I just want to use the automated ones?
Sure. So before I get there, again, you want to turn this campaign on if you're ready to use it. And just FYI, maybe you have written your Labor Day, Halloween, and Thanksgiving, but you haven't written your Christmas yet. That's okay. You could still turn this on and come back here and edit it before Christmas and put those Christmas and New Year's ones in. So, don't feel like you have to have a year's worth of templates to make this. You can go ahead and make it, turn it on, and you can always come back and edit it and add more steps to it.
And I
Okay.
would like to add before we move over to that, for our admins, there might be some admins on this call. If this is something that you provide as a service for your agents or as additional value for your agents, and you create a company level holiday 2026 campaign, remember that it needs to be scoped at the entity level so it can waterfall down into your agent's account. So for example, if you are a company admin, make sure that you're creating this at the company level scope. Okay, at the company level scope. So when you're actually setting
Yeah.
this up, it's way back at the beginning when you're,
It's right here. I don't have it because I'm not an admin in this particular account. But if you're an admin above in the campaign logic, you will have a scope drop down if you are an admin where you can choose.
isn't it also located in all my campaigns when you start one?
It it's there, but it's here,
Yeah,
but it
right there.
doesn't, I don't believe it actually carries over. Like you actually in the campaign logic, you have to choose it up here, I'm pretty
Ah,
sure.
good call out.
I
Good
don't
call
know
out.
if it defaults to the one you're in. It might, but just be real cognizant of that. You definitely have to do it for the specific campaign up here. Okay, so real quickly over in our marketing tab, under our birthday and anniversary tile, that is where you go to decide. You can do it by status. Same thing with here, and then you can change those templates if you want to. And I highly recommend if you do nothing else from being here today, you at least go in here and change those templates because you don't want to be sending out the same one every year. And if you've never changed it, your people have been getting them every year, the same exact one with the birthday cake. So make sure that you're doing that. Okay, we have 4 minutes left. Any other questions before I?
No, but I'm just going to give you my pro tip from using these automated ones because I like these automated ones. I think that they're great to send out. I love the fact that when you change the template, if you click on it, you also can choose here, do you want to send it? So you have to scroll down at the bottom. You can run it on, before, or after. I like to do the message that runs it before so that I can have my messaging say something like, I want to be the very first to wish you a happy birthday, and then whatever your other additional messaging is. And I like doing that because I don't know about you, but I get bombarded on my social media with tons and tons of Facebook and other birthday greetings, which I absolutely love. But I don't want my message to slip through the cracks. So consider running it before or after the date is kind of a great way to kind of slide under the radar to make sure that you're getting the attention that your messages deserve.
Mhm. Yep, that's a good call out. Okay, cool. Well, gosh, we did it in time this time. Yay. Well, please make sure to not forget to come next week. Like I said, we are going to be going over Zapier, voicemail drop, and video and getting those into your campaigns. And I think those are super fun and next level things that you can do. And getting that automation all set up, it's a one-time thing and it's going to run for you. And I think you'll see a lot of value in it. So please make sure to come next week.
Do we
Uh,
want to show them real quickly how to delete a campaign from the list if they decide they want to clean up their campaigns?
yeah, I was just at a meeting this past weekend and this guy came and he had like 20 copies of every campaign and it was just a big mess. And I was like, oh, we need to delete all these. And we spent about 20 minutes deleting them. But if you are in your campaigns, and you have, doubles of things or triples of things, or you have last year's campaign, which is 2025, and you want something for 2026, all you have to do is you just click in and click remove campaign. And that will delete it out of your platform. And it will be like, are you sure? Because once you delete it, it's bye-bye. Like it's not coming back. Okay. So be sure that's definitely what you want to do. But also be aware that if you have campaigns that are scoped to your office, to your team, and not your user. If you are not an admin, you cannot delete them. You can only delete the scope that ones that are scoped to you. If you are an admin and you want to take it out, understand that if you delete it, it's deleting it for everyone under you. So if you don't want it to run and you're an admin, but you don't want to delete it for everyone, just toggle it off. Do not delete it in general because that will delete it out of the entire platform if it's scoped higher than the agent.
I mean, this truly is a library of campaigns. And
Mhm.
when you delete a book from the library, if you take it out and throw it in the trash, it's gone. It is
Yeah.
gone, gone. So, and remember, you can only really delete the ones that are the books that you own. So
Mhm.
keep that in mind.
Yep. Um, can you drop the Yeah, I will. Let me find it.
Yeah, just so you know, Anthony just popped into the chat, and this is a good reminder. We add as, and I say we because I'm throwing myself into Heather's arena here, but Heather goes really deep into a lot of content on these sessions. And for those of you that come to the live sessions as an added bonus, just for the people that are attending live, she provides a resource document. And in that resource, it's like a little study guide for today's session. It has a lot of the things that she's talking about if she's referenced maybe a campaign she's built or you know, a pro tip or a coupon code for the marketplace, things like that. She puts a lot of time and effort into those, and it is available only for the people that are watching the or coming to the live sessions. So make sure that you come to these live sessions because they will not be available in the YouTube channel if you are watching the replay. Sorry.
Sorry. All right, guys. Well, we are right at time. I always adore being with everybody. Please come next week when we do where we're going to do those advanced sessions, and please sign up for September because we're doing, I don't know who else's favorite thing but lead gen, right? Getting more leads in your platform. We're going to be diving deep into all the ways you can do that, and I would love to see everybody there. And so make sure to sign up for that too. That link is um, on the page I gave you guys. Okay. All right, so last but not least, I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to do one more shameless plug. If you want a one-on-one breakthrough session with me, this is the link to purchase that. I would love to see you guys one-on-one and help you with anything that I possibly can. Okay? All right, everybody, have a great week and we will see you next week, same time, same place. Thank you, Kelly, for being here. Bye, everybody.